Hi. So, as you can see, I'm not in a garden. But this is indeed first insight of this week. So, because we're still in lockdown here in New Zealand and the weather outside, although it doesn't at the moment look terrible, there's some very threatening rain clouds and I really don't want to get sick. So, I'm being wise, listening to Heavenly Father who said, why don't you just stay home and do it? I'm like, but I want to go out there to a garden. Because, like, especially this week, being that Nephi prayed in a tower in his garden, I really want to go to a tower in a garden, and I know a tower in a garden. And he's like, no. And I'm like, okay, never mind. So, anyway, if you do get to, there's a German bell tower near our rose gardens. Super cool. Kind of a good makeout spot for a lot of people. So, sort of make lots of noises as you walk up to it so, you don't catch anything. Um, yeah. Okay, so we're in chapter 7 through 12 this week. And there's some really, really good stuff in here. And I just think welcome to my lounge because I'm doing it in my lounge. Yes, you can see I have strategically placed books here. That's just to cover up photos and other personal things. So I've depersonalized the space. So if you're thinking that, ooh, I'm really righteous and I have lots, well, I do have them, I do own them, but it's just to cover up personal, because it's the internet, right? So anyway, join with us in chapter 7. And this is, again, as I said, Nephi's praying in his garden tower because he got rejected in the north. And the Gadianton robbers are filling all the judgment seats. And he's just so, disparaged and downtrodden. So, there's been a lot talked about this one. So I'm going to try and get this in because we're already 2 minutes into this. So just explaining. Oh my gosh. Okay, so verse 7. Verse 7 said that he talks about he wished that he could have been in the days when his father Nephi, who he's named after, this is the original Nephi back in First Nephi, he could have been in those days because the people were easy to be entreated and firm to keep the commandments of God. And I've heard a lot this week sort of talking about this, that it's like, you're kidding me? The people of Nephi weren't easy to be entreated. Do you remember Laman and Lemuel? Did you read what happened? I don't really think that he's talking about that. I think he's talking about the time when they had settled away from Laman and Lemuel and they were Nephites and they were peaceful. And that the people of Nephi, as in Nephi's family, was easy to be entreated. Because this is his family here and they're not easy to be entreated. They're so wicked. And I also think he's trying to point out too that the amount of wickedness. Because even though Laman and Lemuel didn't like Nephi and they had a problem with the whole jealousy thing and they were listening to Satan, not really listening to the Spirit, and we got all that, I don't think that they were bad fathers. I don't think that they were essentially evil people. I just think they made a lot of bad choices. Whereas these people are evil. These are bad people. So that's my opinion, but that's what I think about it. I don't think he's comparing in a wrong way. I think he's just trying to tell us how bad these people were. So I kind of get that. You look at it and think, it can't have been that bad, but I think it really was. So I think I'd be out in my garden praying too, even if it's right by the highway, which I don't think he intended, but nonetheless the story unfolds. We're going to first, verse 9 says, because he can't be there, he says, but behold, I am consigned that these are my days, and that my soul shall be filled with sorrow because of this, the wickedness of my brethren. And I feel that too when I see so many good people out there with so much potential, and they just waste it and get stuck and sort of don't move forward. They seem to come to a state of, I don't know, stuckness. It's probably the best word I can come up with. But they just don't move forward. They don't go anywhere. And it's frustrating. However, many times the youth that I know of, when I was a youth, we were told, you're the rising generation. You were saved for this time. And then when I was teaching youth, they told them the same thing. I'm like, hang on a minute, hang on, you told me that. How can it be both of us? And then you hear it again for now, for the kids that would be my grandchildren. Yes, I'm that old. That you are the rising generation. You are the youth. You are the amazing people. You are saved for this time. And if you actually look and go back to the time of Joseph Smith, this has been told for this generation. When they say generation, yes, you young people out there, don't ever think that you're not wonderful because you're amazing. But it's this generation, from Joseph Smith, this dispensation onwards. We, collectively, have been saved for now. And, to point out, each of us has come to earth for the right time. So, why do you think you were saved for this time? Think about that. Why do you think you were saved for this time, right now? This sucky, difficult 2020 that we're all going through. Why were you saved for now? Might give you some purpose. But God has a timetable for this planet and for each person. And the reason, I'll put my notes there. The reason you and I are here at this time and place is because it's probably most clearly stated by the quote from President Lorenzo Snow. He said, "We are here because we are worthy to be here, and that arises to a great extent, at least from the fact that we kept our first estate. I believe that when you and I were in yonder life, we made certain covenants, that in this life we would do what we had done in that life, find out the will of God and conform to it." So it's to sum up, and I'll finish this one off with Elder Maxwell's words because I love that too. He's just said, we came to this life with traits developed in the premortal world. So the traits that we developed then are what designed us to be where we are now. So if you don't think that you can do this, Heavenly Father knows you can, because the traits that you developed in the premortal world are the ones that you have now. We came to earth with them. We need to develop them again. We need to develop them as more fully as a human and our human weakness, but that's why we're here now. So if you're thinking this is tough, you can do it. So do your best at it. Thoughts, I'd love to hear your thoughts on it and my opinions, but that's the first one. Now remember, the scenery this time won't change, and then we'll do number 2. Okay.